Hey, what's up, y'all? This is NVP with Juxtaposed. Today, we're going to have a Father's Day type of conversation. We're going to talk about how we feel about fatherhood, Black fathers in society, and more. Stay tuned.
We are live back again for a special episode of Juxtaposed. Today we have two special guests, two fathers that I respect and I see how they move with their kids, and I'm like, yeah, that's how I want to do when I get some kids of my own. But we got DJ Battio from the DJs Love to Need Love Too podcast. I need to make sure I say it right. Correct me if it's wrong.
DJs need
Yeah,
love
yeah,
too,
yeah.
so yes,
I
that's
watched
right.
him build that thing there from nothing. A lot of respect, man. Definitely killing the podcast realm. We have 21 Keys. This man is budding life coach. You know, like he's doing a bunch of stuff out here, but I said also, you know, doing a good job with his kids. NVP, no kids that he knows of yet. No, I'm kidding. We don't
But I have
joke
a
about.
daddy. I got a daddy. I
we
got a
don't.
father.
We don't joke about not taking care of your kids over here. But yeah, we're gonna just get into it. I mean, I think Father's Day is, you know, today we're dropping on Father's Day, and so we definitely wanted to, you know, highlight some Black fathers and talk about their challenges, the things that they have to deal with. So we're gonna jump right in. So I want to start off with the challenge part. Like, I know we've all heard the stereotypes of Black fathers of like, well, they're not around and, you know, they leave their kids. They don't care to take care of their kids. Now, me personally, majority of the people I've been around, I've never been around anybody that don't take care of their kids. So how do you guys feel about those stereotypes? And does it even bother you at this point anymore?
So, how I feel about the stereotypes, my belief in God is really strong. So, like, He surrounds me with people that are not like that. So, like, I know it's out there. I know it's something that it is a thing. It's something that has been plaguing our community for the longest. But for me, I think I've just been blessed to not be around that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that I know and the way I just carry myself takes care of their kids. I mean, to the best of their ability. Sometimes it doesn't look like how the next father does their thing, but the effort thing is the thing that I always acknowledge, and not giving up when things get tough. So I do recognize that in a lot of my friends. I do have a couple that I do disassociate myself with when it comes to just being personal. Maybe we do business together, but like just being on the personal, going out for a drink, that's not my cup of tea. So just to really answer your question, I just been blessed not to be around not to be around that type of culture.
That stereotype is false, right? Because and then you have to pay attention to where it came from. It's more systemic than anything, right? Um, so you got to go back in time and understand where that came from and why that even is, right? Back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, there was 70% of fathers in the household. Understand? Once they started giving out um giving incentives for the woman not to have the fathers in the household, right? Alongside cutting those same black fathers out of jobs, out of unions, I mean, it's a long list of things, right? So it's really systemic, right? And then so now you have the child support court, which is under the guise of the family court, right? And this whole custodial parent versus non-custodial parent. So when you start to add all those things up into the equation, it's going to create a lot of issues. You know what I mean? So there is a lot of black fathers that's very present in their kids' life. As a matter of fact, they had a study that came out about 5 6 years ago that said black fathers are way more involved in their kids' lives than any other ethnicity or race of men. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yes, we do have guys out here that are not responsible, right? But there are way more guys that is responsible, but they're not in a household. And because they're not in a household, you can't really like be as present as you want to be because you know what I'm saying? When you start co-parenting, You know what I mean? And sharing spaces is it's a difficult thing to kind of like navigate if you have no if you don't have the proper guidance around you and like and like DJ said, a faith system that can hold you together is going to be hard. So there is this parts of the stereotype is real, but a lot of it is false. But you have to lift up the hood to see what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? To understand why it got to the point where it is now. And I'll say this, and before I end, within the past 20 to 25 years, there are way more active black fathers than there were 25 years ago. They really fight.
Yes, yes.
They actually fight and go to court and fight for custody and really show up and don't just shut down, you know. Because what happens is that us as men, particularly black men, like our feelings get hurt when it comes to our kids and our family. But it's not
Facts, facts.
but it doesn't get recognized. So a lot of us like, you know what, man, I'll just pay the money, and at some point the kid will come around. You know what I'm saying? And then some of us, we're gonna show up and fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on
That's facts, 21. That's facts.
So the question is, I mean, with the study you just mentioned, the question really comes down to why is that stereotype still a thing, even though it's evident that it's not, you know, like it's not real.
It's a mindset thing. You know, it's kind of like how 21 was just saying. It's really in the mindset. Like, if you really listening to what people want to put in your ear, then you're gonna hear the studies. They're only gonna talk about the negative stuff that black men do. But you got to go ahead and find that information that is really more black men doing what they do. So it's a mindset thing. I don't even think about black men not taking care of their kids because, you know, once they see me or they see 21 Keys, they see us outside, you know, with our kids, we're making our kids hold the bags and stuff like that. That's the motivation that it sparks something in them. So every time they see us, just like how you said, you see me and then you want to be a good dad when you do it. That's the type of motivation that's the mindset you have to be around. So it's a mindset thing, you know. That stuff exists. Just like, you know, it's crime in every city, but you're gonna go to a city where you hear it's popular, where you hear it's safe at. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with fatherhood. You know, it's a lot of, and like Key says, I think it's more like 80-20 that takes care of the kids, bro.
But see, but see, it boils down to who does it benefit, right? Does it benefit America to say your black men are actually out here doing what they got to do, or do it benefit them to make us look like we ain't, like you know like
Yeah.
we ain't ish, right? Because now, if the police is attacking us, if you know all of these different things is happening simultaneously to us, then no one's gonna care, right? But if you keep pushing the narrative that black men ain't ish and we don't take care of our kids and we're deadbeats and we're undependable, all of these negative tropes, right? Now it's when they do us bad, it's easy to say, well, he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? He's a hoodlum. You know what I'm saying? So once again, a lot of this conversation is really systemic.
Yeah.
Because if you now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to sit here and act like there are not guys out there that are just bad people. There are bad people in every race. There's bad people in every group. There's bad people in every ethnicity. Understand? So
Mm-hmm.
let's not act like that doesn't exist because it does. But let's focus on. I think what should be focused on is the fathers that's actually there and showing up. The fathers that actually comes to the school and drop their kids off and pick their kids up and know who their kids' teachers are and know what their grade point averages and can look at their kid and can tell what areas that they need help in and what areas that they don't need help in. You know that can that assist the kid's mother and help them out in time of need. Do you know how much fathers out here? Oh, okay. Do you know how much fathers out here that are not just paying child support on paper, but they're also paying money on the side? And you know, there's a whole lot. They're paying child support on paper, but then they're still going to show up and drop extra money just to make sure things is going right. Those
Mm-hmm.
they would never put those things out in the public. You know what I'm saying? Because it messes up the ecosystem that comes along with discounting black men as fathers. You know what I mean? So that's someone benefits off of the negative connotation of what we're talking about.
Also, I wanted to add that I think to go back to the percentage of black fathers that are currently in their kids' life, I would say that when you hear something growing up a lot and you're against it, I think it has like the going back, like, oh, black men are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. If you grow up hearing that, I think that's why there's so many black men really like going hard for their kids, you know, because it's like, yo, especially some of the guys who grew up with no father, right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? Also, I know the stereotype is out there. I know that they're saying these things, and I'm not going to be that guy, right? And so I think that has a part to play in the men that are like, yo, doing the extra, like, yo, child support and stopping by and taking care of the family as well with extra things, right? Because people are not going to want some people are not going to want that stereotype. Like, yeah, you can say that stereotype about whoever you want, but you're not going to say it about me as a black man. And I
Right.
think that's some of the energy out there.
And no, and that's the thing, right? It's like I don't want that on me. I don't want that jacket on me. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm. Here's the thing. As black men, we have the biggest bullseye on our backs already, right? When you go outside, you got to navigate people who look like you, who don't want to see you make it. You got to navigate other ethnicities and races who don't like you. You got to go into a workspace that don't really want you there, but they got to hire you because the federal government says that, you have to give these individual jobs, right? The law enforcement look at you like you're a criminal off back. Doesn't matter if you're in jeans and a hoodie or you're in a suit. You're still, the color of your skin deems you're a criminal. So when you have all of that on your back, you don't want no more. So you're going to take some of that off by being the best father that you can be. That's the only thing some of these black fathers have. You know what I'm saying? That gets them through the day. You know what? Even though the world is beating me down, I'm gonna go still see my daughter this weekend. I'm gonna go still see my son this weekend. All these plans that I have for my kids for the summer, you know what I'm saying? They're looking. That's what they look forward to, because the shit that we go through, excuse my French, on a daily basis, no one really cares. You know what I'm saying? And it's evident.
I mean, 100% agreeing to that, man. You know, like being in the music business, being in the industry, being around people. But you know, like and it's my whole thing is my mindset. So like, I don't care when people be like, "Yo, you're a dope DJ," or "You killed that shit." When people lead off like, "Yo, I like the way you take care of your kids," you know, that's the thing that makes me go like, I know, like, even if you don't got kids, you know what's going on, and then you're gonna be in a good situation because your mindset is already just acknowledging that first. You know, anything you see on my Instagram, it says father, then professional DJ, and then I have a podcast show that's doing pretty good. I work with a lot of big people, but everybody that knows me knows that, yo, I'm dad first. You know, K.Stylez knows I'm a single dad. So it's like, even when I'm outside, when I be outside, you know, I kind of don't even tolerate to be looked at that certain way no more. No more. You know what I'm saying? Because, me, I be outside with my kids. They think we was brothers. And it was used to like, I got to make people think, like, no, I'm dad, and this is what we do on a daily basis. So it looked weird to some people. You know, K-Styles growing up in Brooklyn, it looked very weird to me as a single dad. But now I'm in Georgia. It's a lot of black men doing what they do down here now. You know what I'm saying? And like when I see, the deadbeat type shit situation, I do feel like sometimes I ask myself, how can you not take care of your kid? But then my belief in God is like some people are just born with not it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can get it, but if you wanted one of those people that just care about yourself, I feel like you shouldn't have kids. Like my older brother, love my older brother. He's the best uncle ever. He should never have kids. Like never. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we know. That's the situation. He's way older than me. He's probably not going to have kids, but it makes sense. Everybody shouldn't have kids
That's
too.
true.
And that's the thing too. That's a really big thing. You can't just say, "Oh, black man, kid." No, every black man shouldn't have a
Right.
kid.
I mean, that's definitely true. But see, you're living in Atlanta, which is like the black mecca of America right now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
whether you're a single father or your husband in the household with your kids, or you're just an active dad, that makes sure that you do everything that you're supposed to do, you're going to be praised for it, and not praised for it in a way where it's like, hey, hooray, but it's like you get acknowledged, like, here, this is a man out here doing his
Yeah.
thing, and what that does, it opens opportunities for you, because when people see that you're taking care of your children, they say, okay, that's a responsible man.
K.Stylez, K.Stylez, my kids work for me. My kids is on my
Right,
payroll.
but I could do business with this person because I can see where their dedication lies. They have integrity. They have principles. They stand. They have character. It shows. And this is, but once again, they do not want to show us black men in that light, because
Mm-hmm.
now when things happen, the cavalry is going to come and they're going to hold it down.
Mm-hmm.
But when you keep painting and say, well, you know what? Well, this is and the third, and throwing like those like anecdotal stuff. No, forget the anecdotal, right? Because that's on a personal level. What about on a grand level, right? How
Mm.
much black men out here is actually on their ones and twos, doing what they got to do. They don't complain. They do the overtime. They show up for basketball games and tryouts and recitals and ballet, and you know what I'm saying? They get off of work and they run from work to make sure they can meet the requirements their kids need from them every single time, and then they go home, and guess what? Someone's still gonna say that's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. You know what I'm saying? So we go through a lot that our counterparts don't care about, because they don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Being a single mom is like it's like a pat on the back, like, great job, you're a single mom. But a lot of these single moms out here are not single moms. They're single women
Mm-hmm.
with children.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Right?
Talk about it.
Meaning,
Talk
meaning
about it.
the dad is there, but he may not be in the household. They might not have an amicable relationship. You know what I'm saying? They might have a tumultuous relationship because they might have traumas that they're dealing with, right? And they have to go to therapy and to get past it. So they can't get along as adults, but that man shows up for his kids every single time. So,
Yo, 21. Let me jump in there
yeah,
real quick. K.Stylez can use this for the commercial. I don't pay child support, but if you make all your child support payments on time, you are not a single mom. All right, go ahead. Finish
no,
continue,
no,
bro.
but that's
Hold on.
Wait,
no,
we gotta go. We gonna
Hold on.
squeeze
You
past
can't.
that. Like,
You just
we
gonna
gotta break
drop
that
that and
down.
roll out?
I know some men that go through it, bro. And like you said, they like 21 was saying, like they do that and they still do bread on the side because that's the real dad shit. That whole child support is the government's way of whatever,
of
whatever.
monitoring,
When you get that bread on the
right?
side, that's the real dad. That's the caring part. That's like, hey, I ain't got this. Let me take a little bit of my leg. Hey, take this part. Boom. My bad, 21. I just had to jump in there with that, bro. I felt it in my soul, bro.
So you say, hey, if you're paying all your child support on time, right? You're not a single mother. But in that equation, what if you're paying it on time and everything, but you're not actually spending the time with the kids? Is that mother still a single mother?
Yes, in that instance, she is a single mom because
Okay.
she's doing the bulk of the work physically by herself.
Okay.
But what you let off with is what you hear. Its own child support is not just the money, it's the agreement. So now, if she's not letting
See the
dad
kid.
pick him up and have his weekends, but she wants to lead off with, oh yeah, he pays his child support, but that's it. Okay, so what happened to him seeing them every
I
weekend?
get it.
Because real
Hmm.
dads, he know this part. That part may have gotten denied, but everybody leads off with child
Yo, bro,
support.
listen. There's a in the Bible. There's a story in the Bible where I forgot but there was a king, and there was these two women, and one woman said the child was hers, and the other one is saying the child is
Solomon.
hers.
Yeah.
Right, Solomon, right?
Yeah.
And the king says, you know what? To end this whole argument, I'm gonna cut the baby in half, You take half and you take the other half. And the mom, other mom says, you know what? She can have the kid, right? Because that's what a real mother's gonna do. But that's what fathers do, right? Before I go to court with you and argue with you,
Yeah, I get where
you
you're going.
you have at it.
Preach,
If
preach,
you're being
21,
if you're gonna be
preach.
that
It's
difficult,
not Sunday, bro. Preach.
but if you're gonna be that difficult and you're gonna bring so much strife to my life and you're gonna discount me as a human being to that capacity in front of my child, you know what? I'll pay the child support and I'm gonna be hurt over here. I'm hurting, but
Mhm.
I'd rather me hurt over here and that child get everything they need and not see you tearing me down in front of that kid.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
down the line, when that kid is become a teenager, it's a different conversation. I could explain.
different
I could
conversation.
talk to you now. I could explain to you, hey, these are the things that was happening. And this is why I wasn't there because I didn't want to put you through X, Y, Z. See, this is and that's called integrity.
Mhm.
But to the general concept and perspective, it looked cowardly. Oh, well, you didn't
Well,
try hard enough. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna put my kid through court and all of that stuff and keep running that into the ground. So I'll pay the money. I'll look like the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy, just so that could be the way it is. You know what I'm
so
saying?
my one question there though, does that not create a problem because then the kid, and I'm not saying that it's a wrong approach because once again, like I mean, I've known people in that situation, but doesn't it create a problem where the kid then potentially feels like they're alone
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like repeating the cycle because then they believe that that my father wasn't doing anything and then you find out that they were actually being blocked by the mother.
So listen, it's like being in the streets, right? I get in the car with Kyle and DJ. DJ got a gun. Kyle got drugs on him. The car got stopped, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right? We
Like,
all
I'm glad I'm not in
we
this
all
car.
get
What's
we
going on?
all get caught. We're all in the car. DJ don't say the gun is his. Kyle doesn't say the drugs is his. But we all going to jail. But I'm gonna sit up here and take that charge. I ain't gonna tell. I ain't gonna snitch, right? That's integrity. You see what I'm saying? To somebody else, man, you're stupid and dumb. Whoop de whoop de whoop, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, to you, it might look that way. But to me, I can't sleep at night knowing that I went against what I believe. You know what I mean? And that's what it's the same thing when it comes to being a dad. Being withheld from your kid. Yeah, you know what? Down the line, your kid's gonna understand.
Hopefully.
I
Hopefully,
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully, right? Hopefully,
Yeah.
right? That's what we hope. But
Yeah.
we rather not. I know guys personally that get that month ain't shit. He don't do this and that. Meanwhile, he's paying child support every month, right? He's
Hmm.
being blocked from the mom. I mean, he's being blocked from the kids by the mom. He can't really show. He's not on the list for school. And he's not an emergency contact. So even if he want to show up, he can't because there's no way for him to. And if he do show up, he could possibly be arrested. You know what I'm saying? So he's
So
just like, you know what? I'm gonna just I can't provide if I'm locked up. I can't provide if I have strikes against my name. So I'm gonna be over here and I'm gonna pay that bread out to make sure my kid is good. But when that kid is a certain age, the kid's gonna want to be around me, and you can't
Yeah.
stop that from happening. There's nothing you can do to stop that. You know what I mean?
so let me ask y'all a question. If that is the scenario, right? How do you deliver that message to the kid once they get a certain age? Because I feel like if you come off too aggressive on the mother, they might be like, yo, bro, I understand what you're saying, but don't talk to my mom like that or about my mom like that. Like, what would you say would be that
The
Therapy,
right approach. The right
right
approach to
approach?
that.
Yeah.
Integrity.
therapy.
And integrity, man. And all the way from as you go, like from age 5, like
Mhm.
doing what you gotta do when he was 5, doing what you gotta do when you was 6, doing what you gotta do when you was 7. So now when they 8, you can have a conversation. Okay, how come you and mommy not together? Oh, you don't understand that yet. Doing what you gotta do when they 9, doing what you gotta do when they 10. Hey, what's up with you and mommy? So now they 12. Now they can understand life a little bit. It's like, hey, so me and your mom didn't work out, but so how come I see you every weekend? This is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Now you got to remember, life is happening. They may be watching TV shows. Maybe in school is happening. So now it's like all coming into intuition. It's like, because everybody lives a private life until they get to a certain age to where they can see it into intuition.
Exactly.
It's nothing
Yeah.
perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's perfect. My kids, they love their mom. Their mom lives in Buffalo. My kids live here with me in New York. You know what I'm saying? Over time, and I'll share my story. Over time, it had to get to where everything is great now, to where it's mom is there, dad is here. But you have to fight for what you want for sometimes in this life. As a dad, I never wanted anybody to say, "Oh, it's a baby daddy situation going on over here." You know what I'm saying? So even if that was the case, that was the case. But these kids don't know nothing but parent love, and that's integrity. That's integrity. Sometimes, I have two kids. My oldest is 16, about to be 17. So he heard a lot of the arguments. You know what I'm saying? So now when I speak of his mom, now he's able to process stuff is, hey, okay, your mom may be busy versus, but your mom never answered the phone. Integrity as a real father is getting that frustration out of you that you had. And you got to move forward. Like, my kid's mom is married to another man, bro. You understand what I'm saying? But she's still a good person to me and to my kids, and that's integrity. Because I don't have no time to be like, well, fuck that BIT, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's just me here. I don't even ask child support for her, you know what I'm saying? It's integrity, bro. So to answer that question, MVP, is the uprising, the upbringing. Be there from jump. Be there from jump. So if the kid is 16 and he looking for his dad, and like, look, check my receipts. Check the receipts. You know them Jordans and mommy ain't buy you those, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. So I challenge all dads to do your thing. To always do your thing, man. That's what I always had in my mind. It's like I ain't have my dad. So my mind was, there's nothing going to help stop me from being these kids' father, bro. That was my mindset, 21. Like, ain't gonna nothing stop me from being these kids' dad, bro. If she want to move over there, I'm gonna fight for them to get them. I need them. I need them to be with their dad because I got two boys. I'm not raising two girls. You know what I'm saying? So it was very important for me, for my kids to be with me. I didn't want to send money. I didn't want to do that, bro.
Because it's better off for them to be with you as boys, so they can they understand how the world works and what they're growing up to be. They have an example of what manhood is and what it looks like, what struggle is, and how to and adversity and how to get through it, right? How to navigate friendships, disagreements, conflict resolution,
Mm-hmm.
right? All of these different things that we naturally have within us, they're going to pick up on that, and they're going to learn how to navigate, right? So it's important for us to be present at all times. I don't care if it's a FaceTime phone call. I don't care if it's a regular
Right.
phone call. I don't care if it's just me taking you to school in the morning, that 20-minute ride to school or whatever, and that conversation. It don't matter. Kids need time. Kids don't care about Jordans, Barbie dolls. They don't care about LOL dolls. They don't care about amusement parks. This is things that kids like. They don't care about video games. Time. That time that you spent,
Time.
in the park, teaching them how to roller skate or rollerblade or ride their bike or how to navigate through a bullying situation. All that's the things that they're going to remember. See, here's the thing about here's a great thing about being a father, but the sweet side of it and the bad side of it, right? The bad side of it, most fathers won't get the gratitude from their children until they're in their upper teen, until they're like adolescence into adulthood, right? Because life starts smacking them around, and then now they can either A, come to you for actual advice and guidance, or they remember all the seeds that you planted in them, and they will know how to navigate, right? So now they're going to call you, well, Dad, you know what? At work today, this happened, and I did this. I remember you told me this, and I did this, that. You know what? Great
Mm-hmm.
job. You know what I'm saying? So we get our gratitude down the line, not right now. Even if hold on, even if you're in the home, even if you're present every day, you're still not gonna. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's what we're looking for. But at times we need to know, we need that reassurance that we're doing a good job. And, and-
That's
you know what I'm
facts,
saying?
bro. That's facts.
So let me ask a question to keep on the same page that you're on, Keys. So how do you how do you balance being available? Because I've heard you mention going to recitals and going to the football games and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you still have like jobs and responsibilities, right? Do you ever, and this is to the group, do you ever feel like there are situations where your kids are like, hey, why didn't you make it to this thing? And then how do you just handle that situation knowing that you're trying to be there all the time, but realistically, if you're actually a black man out here making money, you can't be there every time. So when those situations come up, if have they come up? Is it a thing? I kind of wanted to like dive into that part.
Me personally, I've never missed anything, anything my kids had ever. I'm leaving that job. I will clock out early. I will use my vacation, my sick time to make up the time that I'm not there. A doctor's visit, I'm showing up. Whatever it is, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I've never missed anything that my kids ever had. I used to, me and Kyle worked in the same place. I used to go to war with those supervisors at work. I used to go to war with them every week. Not like, oh, we need you to stay till 6 o'clock. Nah, I got to pick up my kid from school from daycare. What about the mom? Stop right there. Don't ask me no questions about no mom. Period. I used to shut them down, bro. I used to go to war with these individuals at work. You see what I'm saying? So, me personally, I've never missed anything my kids ever had. Basketball game, Boy Scout, Girl Scout, whatever it is that they was doing, I was there. I don't go to bars. I don't hang out like that. You know what I'm saying? It's certain sacrifices that you have to make sure that you're present. A lot of people try to balance their work life with their hang out with their friends' life and then their kids' life. Their kids time is like sometimes you gotta sacrifice your hanging out with your friends. That's why a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times friends become distant because man, I ain't seen you in so long and you acting differently, acting strange. Like, no, bro. I have a schedule. I have to keep it, and my kids have things that they do after school on the weekends and so forth.
I have like a little different way on the way I handle mine, the way I balance mine. What I try to do is I try to, because I have two boys. Uh, I try my best to be available to as much as possible. So when things do show up, they know it's business. You know what I'm saying? So, my kids know I'm in entertainment. One of my oldest kid works with me. So that was my way of still being able to bond and everything like that. So he comes to a lot of my gigs with me, but just growing up, just being available, just everything, going to the graduations, to the little recitals, to the little things. So when something comes up, I got to work today. Boom, it's nothing. You know what I mean? So I was always busy. You know what I'm saying? And I continue to be busy, and I continue to show my kids on how busy looks. Busy is not going to hang out with the homies, and that's why you're not chilling. You know what I'm saying? So like I'll FaceTime my kids from the joint. And it's like boom, boom. They like, oh, let's go all those people. It's like, yeah, and I'm coming straight home. So and then it's the balance part. Like when you're saying balance, you have to really balance it. Work, family, and it's like this. It's really God, family, work. You know what I'm saying? For me, but I'm able to balance it because like I said, you got to put that work in. Like the time Shorty say I'm pregnant, and then you got the 80% that is yours from there. Because you can be a regular person. Now, if I was a deadbeat half their life, and now I got to go to work on a day they have a basketball game, and maybe it's a semi playoffs. I can't miss that game, right? But I missed everything in their life. So now your mindset is, shit, if I miss this one, they're gonna hate me. Versus if I miss this one, they're gonna understand, and then we're gonna go out to eat. And then I'm gonna be at the finals, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna nothing stop me from being at the finals. So it's all about being there from the jump, man. Because when you want to jump in these kids' life, when they like he said, they recognizing you when they adolescents. They recognizing everything when you're in the adolescence. Now they're gonna say thank you for everything that you did when they was 8 and 9. They saying thank you. Like my kids fucking think I'm a superhero, bro. and that shit moves me, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit really, really fucking moves me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's because nothing I'm doing in 2022, 23, and the next 4 years is everything that I've done from the time my lady said she was pregnant. You feel me? And been there, the diaper era, when men skip the diaper era, when they skip the paying for the daycare era, when they skip the having fucking illnesses and being in the hospital for 8 days era, and they want to jump in when the kid is 13, when when it's time to buy them sneakers and all that because it look cool. I don't respect that. I don't respect that. And then it ain't about me respecting that. The child does not respect it. So this kid's in school talking crazy to the teachers is because shit. Now they being disciplined. You can't start that shit now. You know what I'm saying? And I apologize for cursing, but I get really hyped when I'm trying to speak to dads. If dads is watching this episode, man, step up and start now. And even if they 15 now, start now so they can start remembering that when they 30. Oh, I remember 15 years ago when I was lost, and then you spoke to me.
Right. And it's it's also about like getting into the things that they're into, right? If they're into playing video games, man, sit down and play the game with them for an hour or so. You know what I'm saying? And open that like they open up. Now you guys got something in common. So even if you're not there, I could be at my house and you could be with your mom, and we're playing Call of Duty or we're playing Fortnite or we're playing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, we're a team now online, just tearing it up.
That's why it always baffled me how men with boys don't take care of them. Like, after you do the diaper shit, after the diaper phase, you doing the same thing you do with K.Stylez and NVP. Like, let's go play ball. Even if they don't know how to play ball, like, she'll get the rebound for me. Let me work on my jump shot. You know what I'm saying? How you don't want to play Call of Duty with my kids got me and my kids, they end every game before me. And that gets me pissed. But it's like now that's something we can do. Like once I lose, now they can play. How you don't want to do that? Like that's the thing that drives me crazy. Is like, how, why y'all missing that? That's fun.
I have a boy and a girl, right? So my son's 18, my daughter's 11, right? So it's a different dynamics, right? But I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm physically there, whatever it is, I'm there. I didn't have to worry about, sometimes I might not have it all the time. But the time is worth more than the money. You know what I'm saying? The time is worth more than the bread.
Yeah, no. I mean, I hear all of that, and that's the thing I see that I always respect. It's like that the people who take their kids with them to like some event or just so that they get that exposure, because those are the moments you remember, right? Like you remember the time you did something, you went on the job with your father, because they literally didn't have anywhere else to go, but they just took you with them. And now you're learning something about something that may be interested into you. You're setting them up for the future. So like stuff like that to me is like super important. That's like seeing everybody do that. I said, create the building blocks for me to know, like, all right, I know what I'm doing, right? Like, God willing, I'm able to have kids and live to their old age. I want to make sure that these are the things I want to make sure I set up for the kids to ensure that they have exposure, right? Exposure to a whole nother thing. Like,
I wanna ask y'all a Father's Day question. MVP and K
okay,
Styles. How come you guys have not had kids yet?
whoo,
I can answer that like it's nothing. So for me, I wanted to make sure that I'm at a mature level in my mind, finances before I bring a kid into this world, because I didn't want to bring a kid into a struggle. Um, I could obviously just have kids, but I was like, I wanted to do it the right way because I'm kind of like a logical, analyze type of guy. So I'm like, yo, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it the right way. I don't want to just impregnate someone who's maybe toxic, right? Like I want to make sure that I'm dealing with at least in my mind, that I'm dealing with someone who's solid, first of all. Two, that I have the finances to take care of. Because like I was saying earlier, I don't want to fit the stereotype. You know what I'm saying? when my kids need something, I want to be the man that's able to provide it. So that's kind of why I haven't, like, put any pressure on, pulling the trigger on that.
Well, I want to challenge MVP to what Key said, because everything that you said, bro, I don't think you said time. You have time, right? You probably ain't got the money,
Yeah.
but these kids need time. I had my first kid fresh out of high school. I didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
But what I knew I was going to do was what Key said, man, time. My mindset was not there, but I'm going to give time. That shit is free.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's the freest thing about it. And then, because it sounds like, only reason why I asked you the question, because you sound like a really good spoken dude, is like, everybody has time. Nobody's really, everybody has money. That's going to make it maybe better. Sometimes it make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Money has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And I just want this for Black fathers is the biggest thing that, for Father's Day, the message needs to be is stop worrying about anything but your time. Like if I have a tour that's 7 days, no, let's make it 5. Because I need to spend time with my kids. They're still under 18.
Right. But I'm happy you said that, right? I'm gonna let Kyle answer the question, and then
Styles,
Yeah.
Come on.
So my thing is to kind of double down a little bit on his part about the person. I felt like in the past, the people I've dealt with, they would not create a good experience for the child, right? Like, so I know it's like you're thinking way along in the future, but I'm not gonna say I made the best choice of partners, right? It was always like people that, they were available or whatever, right? So one of the things for me, I wanted to make sure is that like I'm with somebody that if we broke up, we're not going to be in a space like I saw with my father. Like I remember being, around my brother's mother and hearing how they talked about my father, and it always felt weird to me. Like it felt, oh, this guy ain't shit. He da 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 da, and you'd hear that, and I'm hearing that from 7, 8 years old, and it just gets stuck in your head. So for me, I wanted to be with somebody that, regardless of what we're going through, I know that they're going to take care of the kid. I know that they're going to make sure that the kid's in a good place. And I honestly have not found that until the person I'm with now. So, we'll see how it goes in the next couple Father's Day. Something may pop up, but we'll find out.
the biggest issue, because DJ said something just now. When a child hit 18, they're not grown. I'm gonna always be a parent. I'm gonna always be a father, regardless of what. You can be 35 years old with kids and a wife. I'm gonna still be your dad. Me being a dad have nothing to do with how old you are. If you need help, I'm gonna always be there. Whatever I can do, I'm gonna always provide it until the day that I'm no longer breathing. I'm gonna do whatever I can do. And the problem with a lot of the disrespect that the kids is giving their parents in general now is that, well, you're 18, you're 18, you're 18. No, not because you're 18, that means you're grown. 18 means that legally you can vote and go to the army. That's it. That don't mean
Can't
you're
even
grown,
drink.
right? At 21, you legally can't drink. But at 25 years old, you are legally an adult. Because up until 25, you still need your parents, unless you're emancipated, right? You still need your parent to help you with uh, school and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we need to, one of the things as parents in general, stop making your child think at 18 that they're grown. Because what's going to happen is they're going to develop this feeling that I don't need of two things. I'm grown, so I can become disrespectful, and it's okay. And the other thing is they're gonna think, well, oh, I have to go out into the world and produce, and if I don't do that, then I'm a loser. And then now your kid becomes depressed, or your kid find themselves in a situation where they're doing unscrupulous things to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to fit a mold. No, we need to stop that, especially here in the Western world. We're going to stop there. When your kid is 18 or 21, you're not grown. 25, I'm still your parent. You can be 50 years old. If you know what I'm saying, I'm still your parent. Nothing changes. I'm still going to be your parent.
That's a good message too. That's definitely a good message.
So I guess we spent a lot of time talking about like, I said I like the struggles trying to figure out, but I definitely wanted to spend some time talking about like what y'all's proudest moments are that you can remember with your kids. Because I think highlighting some of those moments, though they may seem small to other people, it's what keeps you going. So definitely speak to like some of the proudest moments that you've had with your kids.
Oh, I love to go first. Well, my youngest, well, I don't know. So listen, I see. K.Stylez know me. I try to be like the happiest person when anytime somebody see me. But I have two boys, right? My oldest is the smartest kid in Georgia. My youngest is the baddest kid in Georgia. So I'm being very transparent. This is dad stuff, right? I got booked to do something really big for InvestFest. You know what I'm saying? And then the same day, my son, being transparent, said he got mad at some kids in school and said he'll shoot the school up. So you already know how that you know how now I gotta go. So now I'm a dad. So this is stuff dads probably don't see. I got police knocking on my door, making sure all my guns are straight. You know what I'm saying? 4 a.m. They doing what they gotta do. You know what I mean? And now my son is being suspended from school and he has to take tests. So now I gotta stop what I'm doing to make sure my kid is still learning while he's suspended. And my proudest moment is him getting out of the 5th grade and going to the 6th, because not one person in that school thought he was going to pass. I am the only person. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go to the extreme measures to do it. So that was a very proud moment for me. I cried like a baby once I knew he was going to do it. I really did, because I thought he was going to be in summer school. And if you see now, ain't nobody in this house. They with their mom for the summer, because that was really important for me as a dad. That I need my summer to be a effective father. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, go with your mom. That helps their mom with their space. So, and that's just the way the routine works for us now. You know what I'm saying? So my proudest moment as a dad this whole school year, man, he's been suspended 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Beat up a couple kids, me and parents going back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Luckily that parent has faith in God, and we were able to square things off with just being believers and, letting kids being able to figure things out, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, Devin got in trouble, but what about the other kid? The other kid can't be teasing my kid because, he's a little cross-eyed, you know what I'm saying? So now me having to teach my son, you can't fight everybody that's teasing you about your eyes rolling, you know what I'm saying? It's like those little things. So my son had a really hard fucking year, Keys, and he got out of that grade, and I booked the flight first class for him next day to New York. First class, brother.
I mean, for me, like, my son just graduated high school with honors and that, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle to get him to that point. He got suspended, fights, did the typical kid stuff. But for me overall, like, I'm proud of both of my kids. Like, my daughter, she is growing into the young lady that she is. She is, she don't like school much, but she goes because she got to go. She hates math. So I'm trying to like coach her and talk her through. Math is not that difficult if you really like apply yourself. I'm proud of them when they're good or bad. Like, there shouldn't be a moment where I'm not proud of them, right? So I'm proud of them when they do bad, because at some point they have to come to a realization that I did something bad. How I'm gonna get my way out of this? How I'm gonna, make this better? What decisions I'm gonna make the next time? My son, well, he started a clothing line when he was in New York, called KMK, and we got some hats made, and then he scrapped that. He wanted to do something else, and he's working on that. He taught himself how to graphic design. He taught himself how to do so much stuff. Like, he's so resourceful. He got himself a job. I mean, like, he's like a miniature version of me when it comes to certain things. Like, he was just like, Dad, I got this going on. It's like, huh? What? When did that happen? Oh, well, I've been working on it for a while, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, cool. Well, I'm here if you need me. You know what I mean? I'm proud of my kids regardless, man. I'm proud of myself. I
want to thank me.
No. I mean,
I think that's necessary.
No, I'm joking, but no, that's important though. Like, say, think about it. Like, to get to the point where you could deal with all of those, different things being thrown at you and still be able to coach and counsel and show them the right way. Because I think that's a lot of times we made mistakes. I mean, I know a lot of mistakes I made, right? But if it wasn't for the conversations that people had, I would have been making the same mistakes.
Right.
So,
I mean, but
How about all that stuff he was saying on top of having to feed them 3 times a day, every day? I mean, you know how much of a struggle it is to feed yourself, right?
Right.
Feeding yourself every day for
the
3.
DJ
Imagine two other people you have to
every
feed
day.
3 times a
Yeah.
day,
Right.
and still have to do what you want to
Yeah.
do.
Listen, bro. Listen.
That's why I salute you, 21 Keys. I salute anybody, any father. I don't care what skin color, what race. Anybody that wakes up and do their thing.
All right,
Listen,
Chris.
man.
You gotta do
Listen.
your thing, and do your thing is doing your
Yeah.
thing, is cooking. You gotta go in that kitchen 3 times a day, bro. Every
Yeah.
day.
No days off.
You know, I never actually thought about that, but yeah,
Yeah.
3 meals
No
and
days
a couple
off.
snacks and some few
Yeah.
snacks. Like, yeah.
Oh, you said snacks, man. Don't include the snacks, bro. So you know what? Like when kids go to school and then I used to be like, damn, I can't wait for fucking these kids to get out of school. But now when they get out of school, it's like now it's back to the really 3 times a
Yeah.
Right.
day.
Yeah.
When they in school, you just gotta worry about dinner.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no,
yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Listen. I I taught my kids how to cook. So like, it's to the point where it's like I don't have to cook all the time. Like they could make there's certain meals that they can make on their own. I don't gotta test it.
And Keys, I'm sorry to jump in like that because when it's on my soul, I just want to say it's like, but when Keys is saying when you teach them, this dad shit is fun, bro. It's like a
Yeah.
layup. It's a finger roll.
There
Like
you
I
go.
wake up,
There you
bro.
go.
It's a finger roll for me. My house is clean. I got on their ass for the last 3 years. I got OCD.
Uh-huh.
I don't give a fuck what y'all do. Y'all can play the game at 2 a.m. Make sure this crib is clean. Cause down here in the South, we pay for electricity, you know what I'm saying? And water and all that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if I'm paying for that, just make sure that's that. Boom. So now they shower. I ain't gotta make sure they got no clothes ready. I used to have to make sure 2 kids' clothes is ready every day for school in the morning. I had to teach
Yeah.
that, bro.
Ironing,
So when he
ironing their
said that,
clothes.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
ironing. Yep.
you guys, when you dads, just don't be there. When you in there, like, all right, we're gonna play the game. Let's take a break. Let me teach you how to iron, because I ain't gonna be ironing your clothes when you're 13. So I'm glad you said that, 21. I'm really glad you
I'm
said
saying,
that,
but
bro.
you know, but like I said, me personally, yeah, I'm proud of myself because it's like I ain't really
Put that
I
work
ain't
in,
really
Brody.
had no help, no helping hand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to go into the whole thing, but it's like I didn't have no helping hand. I did everything myself. One day, my mother-in-law calls me and she goes, "Hey, Jay's not on the bus." The bus driver said he got off the bus at a different stop. I'm like, "What?" I'm all the way in Queens, right? I'm in Queens, bro. I hop in a taxi, heads to Fort Greene. Get there, I meet her, where the bus drivers dropped him off at. He didn't have a phone. His phone died. Damn, where he could be? Where he could be? But every time we go places, I tell him, remember landmarks, right? Remember the name of streets. Pay attention to your surrounding. Know where you're going. So he figured out, oh, I'm at Fort Greene. I just got to walk. The park is right there. So he walked down Myrtle Avenue, went into the project, and he bumped into his grandmother's best friend's son. So as we about to we about to tell the police like, yo, my kid's missing. As we're about to tell the police that her phone rings, her her best friend's son is like, hey, Jay's with me. He said that he got up for the wrong stuff, stop on the bus, whatever. We said, okay, keep him right there. We did. We get there in like 5 minutes, and bro, I swear to you, the moment he saw me, cause I guess he wasn't expecting to see me. He saw me, took off, ran towards me, gave me a hug, started to cry. Mind you, the whole time he was scared to death, but he didn't cry. He started crying. I'm like, why are you crying? You okay? He's like, I was scared, Daddy, I was scared. But I remember he told me to landmarks and the name of the streets and pay attention to my surroundings. So I walked down this and I did this and I did that. And then I bumped into him. But he
Gems.
went back to where he was supposed to be picked up at. And then he saw some cops and he like, I'm lost. And the cops told him they ain't my problem. So so then he came back to his grandmother's house, bumped into the dude, and then he wound up calling the grandma. I said, listen, man, I said, you have adults who don't have the common sense to do what you just did. So high five. I'm saying? So the lesson learned was next time, don't get off on the wrong stop on the bus. Right? But more importantly, you did a good job by listening to me over all these years by me telling you how to navigate and how to pay attention when you outside and X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? So that's one of the stories I could tell you that my son went through, right? My daughter, she was in, I think, first grade, was a kid bullying another kid. So no, you're not going to touch my friend, leave my friend alone. The kid picks up a chair, hits her in the head. So the teacher tells, it was a sub. So she can't, I picked her up. I'm like, what happened to you? So back up at the school. Yo, what's going on with this? Or the sub? I said, okay, cool. The next day, I get to the school. I'm like, we'll get to the bottom of this today. Come to find out, this kid was bullying other kids in the class. She got tired of it, stood up to him, and he hit her with the chair. We had a conference with the parent, with that kid parent and the principal. We went through the whole thing. But I'm like, so I asked her, I says, well, she says, I don't like bullies. I don't like people bullying other people. And he does it every day, and I got tired of him. And I stood up to him. I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying? But that's me telling her, stand up for yourself. Don't let nobody take advantage of you at that age. You know what I'm saying? So there's a plethora of proud moments as a parent you're gonna come across with your kid when you realize your kid's actually listening to you and doing what it is that you're teaching them to do. You know what I mean?
Just to piggyback on his story, it's just like a tip for dads. Like, whenever y'all in the car and you know how kids want to fall asleep, tell them, no, stay up and you need to watch these landmarks. That's something that I will yell at my son. He likes to fall asleep in the car. No, you need to watch where we at. You need to watch where the closest store is at. For moments just like what 21 Keys do. Because that's the finger roll and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a finger roll. Yeah, you're going to be a little worried because it's your child. You're like, I hope you remember what I told them. But now, if you was asleep in the car because you just really trying to get to the thing, nah, wake up. Look at the street signs. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a good tip, man. Somebody told me, man, make sure your kids is up every time they get in the car. Because when you tell your kids take a nap, they don't want to take a nap, right? 21, you know that, right? Come take a nap in the crib. Just know they're going to fight that shit. But once they get in the car, 5 minutes, they out. Nah, stay up.
My daughter if she in the back seat, she's out. 2 minutes. But if she's in the front seat of the car, she's wide awake. To the point where she'll come in the front and her mother sit in the back.
It's one of the worst things, K.Stylez, watching like Snapped and watching all those investigation discovery shit, you know what I'm saying, with kids being missing.
Terrifying.
That's, as a parent, even as a dad or mom, as a parent, that's the shit. You don't want your kids to run away. You don't want your kids to commit suicide. And you don't want them to, that's one of the things that cringe your soul.
When I tell you, when I got that phone call, bro, my heart fell into my shoes.
I know. Trust me, I felt it. I'm listening to the story like, I know, bro.
Like, just imagine losing your kid in the mall for like 2 minutes. It feels like forever. It feels like forever. So, I mean.
So when people don't have kids, I be like, it's that little 1% of me that be like, they a little lucky because they don't have to worry about a lot. It's a lot. Like the responsibility thing is like, and that's what, and some people is like, if they don't got it, they don't got it. And I applaud anybody that don't got it. Because you don't want to say, oh, let me be a parent because I don't want nobody calling me a deadbeat, but you don't got it. You get what I'm saying? But that's my little cheat code too, because I love kids. I love kids too. So when I had kids, it was like, I bet I'm gonna be a good dad because this is not boring to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a lot of fun with kids, bro. And made me $500,000, man.
So we could go all day on this. My final question to you is, what does fatherhood, if you want to put that in a nice little bow, what does fatherhood mean to you?
Fatherhood for me is support. Fatherhood to me is the beginning of starting something new. Fatherhood to me is leadership. Fatherhood to me is openness. And 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 fatherhood to me is just the ultimate love. You know what I'm saying? Like Keys was saying, we got the target on our back. People want us to be gangsters. People want us to be tough. And then they want you to be a dad at the same time. They want you to be soft. They want you to, not yell at your kids all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's fatherhood is the balance of love, bro. In my opinion.
To me, fatherhood is nurturing. It's love. It's integrity. Being present. It's understanding that time is worth more than money. Planting seeds. So your kids could grow in the future. And it also means, like, to me, like, no matter what happens, I got you. I got you. No matter what it is, so good or bad, I got you. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. I'm not gonna leave you dry. You know, I got you. I want you to be honest with me at all times. Whatever it is, we can figure it out. We can get through it. But I got you. That's what fatherhood is to me. And I think, well, I want to say this. I want to say salute to the DJ and everything that you do with your kids, man. Very honorable. Oh. Also, part of fatherhood is being honorable, right? Being honorable, right? And like I said, when you're a good parent, it opens doors for you like none other. You know what I'm saying? My homie Che Antonio told me this. He said, if you take care of your kids, you will always be blessed. You no matter what you might not get everything you need when you want it. When you need it, it's gonna come. You know what I mean? Because kids are a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And I remember him telling me that vividly about probably like 14, 15 years ago. And it stuck in my head. But NVP and K.Stylez, aka Kentucky Derby Styles.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
now I'm on some G shit, like, yo. Thanks for having this episode, man. Thanks for having me on to talk about the subject, because I feel like I said fathers don't really get, black fathers particularly don't really get. We all get put in the same pile, right? We all get put in the same category until you show different. You know what I mean? And there's way more black fathers out there doing things for our children, showing up in the best way than there are ones that are not. I'm saying, you know what I mean? And some of the ones that are not, we got to give them grace, because it might be people blocking them from being with their kids and seeing their kids and showing up. You know what I'm saying? So not every dad you see, or black dad you see that's not there, doesn't mean that they're doing it deliberately. Sometimes they burnt out. Sometimes, they don't have the mental capacity and to deal with that, because some people can break very easily. And when you're dealing with kids and being a father, it can break you, but you have to be strong enough not to allow it to break you.
Well, yes. On that note, I appreciate both of you. I think that when I when I thought about doing this, you were definitely some of the first people that jumped out of my mind, just because of what I've seen and how you move with your kids. I have nothing but respect and admiration for both of y'all. So definitely thank y'all for being here. Definitely check out Bat has the DJs Need Love 2 podcast. We'll link it in the description. Also 21 Keys. We're gonna get that other. We're gonna get a focus podcast going to talk about some of these experiences too, because I think there's a space for these conversations. But to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Um,
Happy Father's Day,
Happy
guys.
Father's
You
Day.
know what I'm
Happy
saying?
Father's Day.
Appreciate y'all, man. MVP, thanks for having me. Stamps, thanks for having me. Like you said, we out.